Tomorrow it's cold.
Not that cold.
8 or 7?
I thought it was 12.
So it was warmer then, or did he change it again?
They changed it. When I looked, it was 12.
The paper said 8.
Well,
Okay, the recordings have been started, so I would like to call the meeting to order for the second part of our meeting this evening, which are planning items, our planning hearings. We dealt with our regular business earlier in the day. And just for those that are on Zoom, I would like to let you know that we have all members of council here.
Oh, wait, sorry, Madam Mayor. I'm still on mute.
Oh,
And let me just start the, okay, go ahead, Madam Mayor.
okay, I would like to call the meeting to order. It is just 6 o'clock and we've been here since 2. We've done our regular meeting agenda items and now we're into our planning hearings. And for those that are on Zoom, I would just like to let you know that we have all members of council here. We have our CAO, Deepak Joshi, with us, and we also have our planning personnel, Heather Stanek, with us this evening. So we do have a number of planning hearings this evening, and we've tried to space them out because of social distancing, and we can't have everybody in the council chamber. So what I'm going to ask is if I could have the resolution to enter into public hearing for variation order number 27 of 2021.
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order number 27 of 2021.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, Councillor Basilowicz seconds. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, so Paulin, I know you're with us on Zoom, so if you could please present on variation order number 27 of 2021.
Thank you much, Madam Mayor. If I could get the share screen option.
Go ahead.
And is that coming on? Good on camera, Madam Mayor?
Not yet.
Or is that coming up? Sorry, my apologies, I did not hear that coming,
No, it's not.
like coming up on your end.
No, it's not, Paulin.
Let me just, okay, let me just try that again.
There we go.
Yeah? Okay, there we go. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. The first item is a variation 27 of 2021. This is located at 82 Pinehurst Avenue. The applicants for this property are requesting 3 variances. One is to reduce the side yard corner for proposed accessory building on the property. To reduce the building separation for a principal building and an accessory building, as well as reduce the side yard corner for residents on the property. Property, again, is fronting onto Pinehurst Avenue, has a side yard corner to Sunset Avenue, and does have other additional right-of-ways to the south. The subject property currently has a shed developed on it, which the applicants will remove once they have variances and permits approved for their dwelling as well as their garage. This is the applicant's site plan. They have indicated specific measurements for council's attention. They are requesting reduced side yard for the home to be 13 feet 11 and 3/8 inches. This is provided by the applicant's architect, which is going to be measured to the stud wall with a eave projection of 2 feet 5 inches into the proposed setback. These setbacks are impacted by the corner, the side yard corner of the dwelling, as well as the corner, which is a southeast corner of both the dwelling as well as the garage. The garage is proposed to be 6 feet 8 and 16 inches away from the required 15 feet. And they are requesting a building separation of 5 feet 2 inches from the dwelling as well as the garage. Just one note for council's attention that the building separation, although do not have any specific code-related requirements, if council chooses to approve the building separation, the committee wants to consider any conditions such as placing any additional fire-related measurements within the garage, the 45 meter fire separation wall, or and/or a unit for the garage. This has just been included for the council's attention if it accept the variance that's proposed by the applicant. At this point, I do not have any further requirements regarding the actual application itself. I don't know if you want me to read the conditions or do we want to save that for the approval?
We'll save it for the approval at this point in time. Thank you, Colin. Okay, council members, do you have any questions of the planner at this point in time? Councillor Sutherland?
Yeah, I think I got this picture here, I just want to, in this overhead view here, I guess that's the old cottage that's still in that picture?
Yes, I think that's
The
what they
actual
said.
photo?
The old cottage is still there, and I think the hatched one on this, what we have on the screen is the old cottage.
Yeah, and the shed's in the far corner,
Right,
and I guess because of the trees, you can't actually see the shed.
right.
But that's what I thought was the old cottage, yeah.
Okay, anything else for the planner? The applicants are in the audience. Do you have anything that you would like to add to your application?
Not really.
No, we're just hoping it goes through.
Okay, I guess seeing as Councillor Sutherland brought up the shed, is that shed going to be removed once you have your new cottage? I can't quite remember what the report said.
We have the power on it right now,
Okay,
so that's our power. so-
okay,
Yeah, it's like our temporary power right now for the lot is through the shed, so once the building and the garage are up, then we can remove the shed.
okay. Any other questions for the applicants? And I see I do have a couple of people on Zoom, and I'm not quite sure which application you want to speak on. So, Mr. McGinnis, what application were you wanting to present on?
Application 33, which is 36 Michelle Street.
Okay. And I also have Karen. Which one were you wanting to present on? Corinne?
That's for 34-2021.
Clint,
No, that one I have here. Heather, who was that?
Carmen
That's,
or Karen?
Karen is 34-2021.
34-2021,
Yeah,
the one on Donald Road?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, I apologize. It's kind of hard for me to know, sitting here, if you're on Zoom, which application you are here wanting to speak on. I know why Andre's here, so I think I'm good now. So I don't believe that there are any other people here who would want to speak on variation order number 27 of 2021 at 82 Pinehurst. If there are no further questions for the planner, I will ask that the resolution, oh no, we have to close our hearing first. So I will ask for the resolution to please close the hearing.
Resolved, public hearing for variation order number 27 of 2021 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, Councillor Horwath seconds. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, so if council is ready to proceed, I will ask our CAO to read the resolution for variation order number 27 of 2021.
Whereas the applicant owner for tax roll number 785000 legally described as Lot 19, Block 5, Plan 2948, Winnipeg Land Titles, and located at 82 Pinehurst Avenue, has made an application for variation order number 27 of 2021 from side yard corner 15 feet to side yard corner 6 feet 8 3/16 of an inch with a maximum E projection of 2 feet 5 inches into his proposed setback, from building separation for principal dwelling 10 feet to building separation for principal dwelling 5 feet 2 inches, from side yard corner 15 feet to side yard corner 13 feet 11 3/8 inch. Purpose to reduce the minimum required corner side yard and proposed accessory buildings separation from principal dwelling and a corner side yard for proposed principal building in order to allow for a 712 square foot detached garage and a single family dwelling to be constructed on the subject property as submitted site plan and detailed letter of intent for the application is provided to council's attention. Therefore be it resolved that the order number 27 of 2021 be approved with the conditions as outlined by the planner already, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much for that. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, seconder, Councillor Bazarowicz. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, Heather, are the applicants, I know the applicants for the next one, I believe, are on Zoom. Is there anybody?
I'm going to go check.
Okay, thank you.
No.
You're good to go if you want to stay and listen for a little bit longer, you may, but your variation has been approved, so you can go to planning and take the next step, is what you have to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, can I have the resolution to enter into a public hearing for variation order number 28 of 2021?
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and public hearing be opened for variation order 28 of 2021.
Okay, Pawan, if you could share your screen and give us the information on this application.
Madam Mayor, is it showing up already?
Yes, it
Yes.
is, thank you.
Yes, that's what, Madam Mayor. Yes, the next item is variation 28 of 2021, located at 4938 Raleigh Road. This is to reduce the side yard requirement from 15 feet to 5 feet. Increase the unit area for proposed accessory building from 1,280 square feet to 2,400 square feet, as well as increase the mean height of an accessory building from 20 feet to 20.17 feet. The subject property located off of Raleigh Road is currently developed with a home and it has a movable 8x12 shed on the property. The applicant is proposing to construct an accessory building which is approximately 110 feet away from the home at the rear yard, but will be 5 feet from the north property line. From our analysis, Madam Mayor, we did look at what's around the context around the surrounding property. Currently there is a 16.52 acre property to the north, which is being appears to be farmed. There's another property of 11.52 acres that is being farmed as well. The applicant is proposing a 5 feet setback, which does not appear to be a minimal modification of the zoning bylaw. There is room to move the accessory building further south away from the property line. However, it's our understanding the applicant has received approval from the neighbor to allow the building, if council chooses to approve it, 5 feet away from the property line. Aside from that, Madam Mayor, I do not have any additional comments or concerns. There was no objection from the provincial agency management structure, and that has been included as part of the council package. Aside from that, if you want to read the conditions outlined for the report.
Yeah, please do.
Thank you much, Madam Mayor. Should council approve the requested variance, we recommend the following. The variance is limited to a minimum side yard of 5 feet, north side yard with an overhang projection of 2 feet 5 inches into the proposed setback for the proposed garage. A unit area of 2,400 square feet maximum for proposed garage for the proposed garage with a maximum mean height of 20.17 feet as presented in this application. Any further changes, replacement, or addition would require new variance. Number 2, applicant owner obtains all required permits from the Red River Pine District District. Number 3, the use of the proposed garage is for personal use only and not to use the town road space. And that's the ordinance of the town.
Thank you very much for that. Any questions from council to the planner? Go ahead, Councillor Sutherland.
Yeah, like I'm just wondering, there's lots of room to actually move that building at least another 5 feet. You know, they usually require 15 feet between the property line, and I see there's 55 feet on the other side of the building. I mean, is it that much of a hardship to at least move it to 10 feet, or else the proper 15 feet? I can see if there was no room, but from these pictures, it seems like there's lots of room to, I'm just wondering why. I know you
Okay,
said you have permission from the neighbor, I understand that, but
right.
I just,
Okay,
curious.
what we can do, see if there's anything else from the planner, and I see that the applicants are on Zoom, so maybe they can answer that question. But first of all, is there any other questions to the planner on this application? Okay, the applicants are on Zoom, and I'm sorry, Okay, Caitlin and Casey, do one of you want to answer that question as to why you've chosen to put the building with just 5 feet from the property line when it appears that you have more than ample room there?
Yes. Basically, our reasoning is right now, when we look out our kitchen window, it's the green space that's important to us. We have one little guy right now and another one on the way any day now. And it's basically just so we can, easily supervise. We're just worried that, if we move the shop that little bit more, it's kind of in the middle of the yard. And then if, in the future, if they're playing behind the shop or anything like that. And also just for the driveway, for just getting in and just, it works better for us there. Like, it's basically a preference. I know there's lots of room, but I'm looking out the kitchen window right now, and if we move another 5 or 10 feet, I mean, we're looking right into the building, whereas if we could have it at 5 feet, it's just, we don't lose our sunsets or anything like that. And I just got off the phone with Gary, the fellow that owns the property, and I mean, he gave us our blessing. He tried to send emails, but I guess he just called me just to let me know that he didn't hear back or anything from that. But that's basically after. I mean, we just don't want to lose our backyard, and I mean, at the same time, we just want everything to kind of work together, and yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. Are there any other questions to the applicants on this application? Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
I have a question that there's the 5 feet there, and from what I understand, there's 2 feet 5 inches is going to be an overhang. So is that now going to only leave 2 feet 5 inch, or the difference in the distance there, like say for drainage or something like that, if when it rains, that the water? But I'm just curious about that.
Helen, can you answer that, please?
Yeah, that was another thing that was discussed with the farmer. That was basically his only concern was just that the downspouts and the drainage would be, built some sort of a drainage just so it's not all running off or anything like that. The measurement is the 5 feet from to the furthest point on the wall or on the outside of the wall, which would be like the aluminum siding. But yeah, those have all been discussed, and yeah. I don't know if that answers your question.
Well, it kind of does, but I guess it's really from the eave, it's only a 3 foot side yard is what you're really saying.
Yeah, well, the downspouts, I guess, would come back to the building, so it'd be back to 5 feet where the downspouts would be, but yeah.
Okay, any other questions or comments from council? And there's no possible way that you could move that building over 5 feet to have it 50 feet from the south, I guess it would be, and 10 feet from the north?
Honestly, like, we finally found our forever home and we don't plan on moving, and it's just one of those things where, it's kind of where I planned on having the shop located, and then once we had our property surveyed, we actually found out that we have a lot less property on that side. But had the property line been where we thought it was, well, it would be more than the 15 feet off the property line. And so this is basically the only reason we're putting in for that, is just because once I had it set in my mind and kind of had the whole layout of our future property and everything planned out, it'd be really nice just to be able to look out our window and, you know, be able to see the sunsets. And we don't want to put the building too far back because all the break-ins and everything that are happening in the area lately, the closer the better. And I mean, that way with lights and everything like that and running power eventually, you know, it's just one of those things. I'd just really like to be able to have it there.
Okay, I guess I do have a couple of other questions. You've asked for a higher peak ceiling height than is normal. Any reasoning for that?
The main reasoning was we wanted to have 14-foot ceiling height because we have a camper and working on the AC units or anything like that and storing it over the winter. We just want to be able to access the roof and everything like that. And I mean, I'm a hobbyist and I like working on trucks and whatever, but the main thing for me is doing my own mechanical work, like oil changes or anything like that. In the future, I probably would like to have some sort of a hoist, and that's basically the two main reasons right there, like storage height and just to be able to put a vehicle up enough so I can actually get underneath, because I don't know how many of you change oil on a concrete floor laying on your back, but it's not that enjoyable, and I don't want to do that my whole life, so I figured if I could do this now, then I want to just go for it.
Okay, and the other question I have is you're asking for also an oversized building, 40 by 60. Reasoning for that?
That again comes back to the storage. Like our camper trailer is 34 feet long. I have 3 vehicles that are currently being stored at my grandma's, and I have other vehicles that I have just being stored other places. And honestly, it's the storage prices and everything that's killing me, and it'd be nice to have everything at home. And once we have the second boy roam around, I know there's gonna be, you know, quads or snowmobiles in the future, and just my main thing is to be able to have everything indoors and not be advertising anything outside, so there's no reason for any kind of break-ins or anything like that. And I hate having clutter in the yard, so this kind of gives me ample room to, you know, just keep everything indoors and out of sight, out of mind.
Okay, thank you for that. Do any other members of council have questions to the applicant? And I am assuming that there is no one else to speak on this application. Okay, so if there are no more questions for the planner from members of council, I will ask for the resolution to close the public hearing, please.
Resolve the public hearing for variation order 28 of 21 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Horvis, Councillor Bazaroli seconds. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, I just lost my resolution here. Having said that, we can probably deal with the application this evening. Now I've lost my whole screen. Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Are we doing 3 variances here in this one resolution, or like are we passing all 3 at the same time?
It's one variation with the 3 different parts of it, yes. If you could go ahead, please, Deepak, because I've lost my whole screen here.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll number 42425, legally described as Lot 2, Plan 37198, Winnipeg Land Titles Office, and located at 4938 Raleigh Road, has made application for variation order number 2821. Side yard proposed accessory building 15 feet minimum to side yard 5 feet, with overhang projections to 2 feet 5 inches into the proposed setback from unit area proposed accessory building 1,280 square feet maximum to unit area proposed accessory building 2,400 square feet maximum, from height 20 feet maximum to height 20.7 feet maximum. Purpose to reduce the minimum required side yard for proposed accessory structure building, as well as increase the maximum unit in area and building height in order to allow for a, excuse me, 2,400 square foot detached garage to be constructed on the subject property. A site plan and a letter of intent information has been submitted. Therefore, be it resolved, the variation order be approved with the following conditions. And the conditions were read out by the planner, Madam Mayor.
Yes, thank you for that. Okay.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I want to correct you. That is 20.17.
Yeah, wait 1 second, yeah.
Oh, sorry, 20.17, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so can I have a mover, please? Councillor Spicer, second. Councillor Horvis, discussion. Okay, before I call the question, I just want to make sure that the applicants understand there's a clause in the, or one of the conditions is that it is for personal use only, and it is not to be habitable. So that means there's no living in there, or no, like, anything going on in there that could be construed as a residence. And also that it is for personal use only, so if you end up having a buddy that wants to have his oil changed, you're not supposed to do it in that building. I just want to make sure that you're clear on that. Okay?
Understood. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a mover, I have a seconder. If there's nothing else, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, so you are good to go now. If you want to stay with us and listen to some more of the meeting, you're more than welcome to, but your application has been approved.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so the next one we have is variation order 33 of 2021, and it is at 36 Michelle Street, and I think we may have some people outside waiting. Paula, we do have somebody that is signing in for this application, so that's why we're having a little bit of a delay here. Hello. just the two of you on this application? One more? Okay. We'll just wait another minute then.
Yeah, they're all here now.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I can have the resolution to move into this public hearing, please.
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order number 33 of 2021.
Matt, mover, please. Councillor Sutherland, Councillor Strang seconds. Any questions? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, Colin, if you could go ahead on this one at 36 Michelle Street, please.
Thank you much, Madam Mayor. Yep, the next item for variation order is, variation order 33, 2021. This is located at 36 Michelle Street. The purpose of the application is to reduce the minimum required front yard for an addition to an existing cottage on the property from 30 feet to 20.8 feet with an overhang projection of 22 feet further than the proposed setback. The subject property does have a front on Michelle Street, also has a side yard corner to Hideaway present, and there's also a rear lane right away that's unimproved to the rear of the property. It's approximately 10,700 square feet property, and it is currently developed with existing shed as per the applicant's submitted site plan, which is currently encroaching into the public lane, as well as a dwelling developed with deck. The applicants are requesting the addition to be on basically the west side of the property at the closest point of 20.8 feet. That is to the southwest corner of the addition. And furthermore, the applicants are going to be meeting all the further zoning bylaw requirements for side yard as well as rear yard and side yard corner. And they're doing this in order to replace an existing, in order to allow an addition, as well as they have indicated that they do try to preserve as many trees as possible in doing their addition, which our understanding is for their addition to the cottage. The applicant has stated that there's a lane, the shed that is encroaching to the lane would be removed, and as a condition, the applicant should address all required permits for addition to the dwelling. That is all I have for this one, Madam Mayor. I did read the conditions at the point.
Yes, yes, if you could, please, Colin.
The variance is limited to allow a front yard setback on 20.8 feet for a proposed addition to a cottage with a maximum overhang projection of 2.2 feet into the proposed setback, as proposed within the submitted site plan and this application. Any further changes in use, further addition, annual replacement may require new drainage. Applicant obtained all required permits for the reservoir findings. And that is all.
Thank you for that, Colin. I see that the applicant is in the chamber here, so was there anything at this point that you wanted to add to your application? If you could please just state your name for the record.
Oh, hi, Karen Schmidt-Kaminsky.
Okay.
And me and my husband, Doug Kaminsky, we own the property at 36 Michelle. And we built the cottage in 2002, 2003, and now we have grandchildren, and we're finding that we need a little bit more space, so we're asking to put an addition on to the side. The front of our cottage is facing Hideaway Crescent, so that's why it's kind of moving towards Michelle, the addition. And that, I don't know what more I can add to that, except for we're leaving all the trees, as many of the trees as we can. Right now, the entire property is surrounded by trees.
Okay.
And then the front, there's about, before the cottage, there's about 30 feet, and on the sides, so we'll be cutting out about maybe 10 feet of the trees between us and the road. And but there's still going to be about 15 feet of trees there because there's some in the ditch, like on the municipality. So, and it's going to be constructed the same way that the cottage is, with a cement coning wall and vinyl siding and roof and that, and the windows to match. And we are retiring, so it's going to be not our primary residence, but certainly probably 60% of our time we spent there, because we're out there right now year-round on the weekends, and that is, we've got central heating and air conditioning, so.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions to the applicants from members of council? Okay, I see there is another name here, and I apologize because I cannot read the name. So did you want to add anything to this? And can you please state your name for the record?
Couple of questions. Hello, council and Madam Mayor. My name is Corinne Kozak, and I'm property at 30 Hideaway Crescent. I have questions in regards to drainage issues. The first question that I have is, with their proposal, is this going to set the precedence for the cottage area? That everybody can do this? Or is it just for this one particular property?
If the requirements are such that the property owner cannot meet the requirements, if it's next door, it would go through the same process as these people are doing.
Okay. And drainage in regards to their property. I brought this up before, but I'm going to bring it up again. Question is there supposed to be a dike road for Hideaway Crescent? Because with what they're going to be doing with their area, the drainage and the water, that might change a little bit, and I'm right at the bottom, and it ends up pooling in my yard.
Okay, well, drainage would have to be looked at, and if there is an issue with the drainage, it's really nothing to do with this application, but if there is an issue with drainage, it would have to be brought to our Public Works, and they would have to have a look at it.
Okay, I have brought it to Public Works twice. This will be the third time.
And you presently have a problem with the drainage there?
Yes.
Then I would suggest that you send a letter to our CAO, and it will be forwarded on to Public Works to have a look at.
Okay.
Now, Corinne, did you sign this form here?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and you're at 168 Edstand?
That's correct.
Okay, okay. All right, so I have no other names on my list here, but I do know that there are a couple of people, or at least one on Zoom, that wanted to speak to this, and I believe that we did have a couple of letters of objection. There is one from Dan McInnes, and the other one is from Fred Pennell. And I see Mr. McGinnis is on Zoom with us, so if you wish to add anything to your letter, Mr. McGinnis, now would be the time.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, elected officials and staff. I'd just like to kind of step back a little bit on the submission that I made here. And I just want to point out that I believe anyways, there's a bit of a mess with this. Mess is the wrong word, but in fact, so this is classified as a corner lot, but in fact it's a reverse corner because the building abuts onto, the rear of the building, the existing building that was built, abuts onto an interior lot. Now that, I know that's beyond the scope of this variance hearing, but I will contact DPAC tomorrow, and perhaps we can have a discussion about that. So my name's Dan McGinnis. I own 3 Hideaway Crescent, which is basically the property at the other end of Michelle Street. My lot is fronts Hideaway Crescent, and on the side is Michelle Street. So in my submission, I provided and actually repeated what the planner had put in his report about kind of the 4 guiding principles associated with granting a variance that a municipality must consider before it's granted. So I have 3 main points here. First of all, I don't think it's in the public interest. And the reason I say that is because this lot is 10,700 square feet in size, There's a 1,000 square foot cottage on it, a 64 square foot shed, and even with the required setbacks, it is not difficult to accommodate the cottage with the proposed 288 square foot addition and shed within the confines of the property and be in the full compliance of the zoning bylaw. In other words, it's just not necessary. And I just want to kind of point out that nowhere in the Municipal or Planning Acts does it state that a variance can be used to correct inadequate planning and shoddy construction by the owner builder when developing their property. As well, nowhere in the zoning bylaw does it indicate that a variance can be used as an eraser of past mistakes. So I really encourage you, because it's not the zoning bylaw that created this injurious effect here. It was actually the construction and the planning of the cottage in 2003. I also submit that granting this variance would not be in the community's interest. So this is a seasonal residential area, and all the properties have a setback of at least 30 feet. And this expanse of green space along Michelle Street maintains the character of a seasonal recreation development as outlined in the development plan as well as the zoning bylaw. A 20-foot front yard is consistent with a higher density residential development in the city of Winnipeg and not Trista Beach. As well, and I think someone else just mentioned this too, granting this variance would set an undesirable precedent. If other owners along Michelle Street wanted to expand their cottage and request a 20-foot front yard setback, what basis would there be for the RMS increments to deny it? And I believe this is truly the thin edge of the wedge. The third point is I don't think granting a variance would be in the best interest, or any interest as a matter of fact, of the adjacent property at 32 Michelle. Apparently I'm speaking on behalf of them as well. They contacted Heather today and sent me a text, but I was golfing today, so I didn't have time to kind of work on that. But the property of 32 Michelle, which was my friend who passed away last November, it contains a mobile home with a front deck. It's situated on the south side of the property, facing west. If this addition is added to 36 Michelle, basically what it's going to do is block the view of the deck for anyone sitting on the deck on 32 Michelle. So, you know, it does have a very injurious effect on this property. Who wants to sit on their deck and then look at the backside of someone else's building while sitting at the cottage? I should also note, I don't know if it really matters, but 32 Michelle will soon be placed up for sale, and loss of the adjacent front yard requirement will devalue the property. So in summary, I don't believe that the proposed variance does meet any of the warrants required for the RM of St. Clements to grant it, and the application should be denied. I would note, though, that I am not unsympathetic to the owners of 36 Michelle. I'm a grandfather and a grandmother here as well, and we appreciate their desire to retire and spend time with their family and the need for extra space. You know, I haven't done any kind of detailed work on it, but I believe it could be very possible to construct a 288 square foot addition to the south or to the east and be in full compliance with the zoning bylaw. So that's submitted by myself as well as George Chernishoff of Elford, BC, who owns 32.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you for that. Do any members of council have questions for the presenter? Go ahead, Councillor Horbis.
You had mentioned that there was a mobile home on the property with a deck on it?
Next door.
Next door, yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm getting
Yeah.
at. So why would a mobile home be here, not a mobile home, but a vehicle with a deck on it? So is that allowed there?
Trailer.
Yeah,
Yes,
trade
it
it.
is.
Go ahead,
Eugene,
Dan.
the original, I'm sorry, Madam Mayor.
No, that's fine, go ahead.
Okay, Eugene Nicotin, the original owner, was one of the first people who bought in this development. And mobile homes are allowed. There is a number of mobile homes in the subdivision. But I don't know if any new ones are allowed, but certainly there's a number that have been there for many years. And this one was put there in about 76, around there, 76, 77.
Okay, thank you for that.
Okay, any other questions from council to the planner or the applicant? I'm not seeing anything, so I will ask for, I noted that there were 2 letters of objection. Go ahead, Heather.
You have to read that one or
I read the names, you,
no? No, okay.
yeah, I read the names of both objectors, so. Okay, so I will now ask for the resolution to close the public hearing on variation order 33 of 2021.
Resolve the public hearing for variation order 33 of 2021 be closed and regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Bazarowicz, Councillor Sutherland seconds. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. If council is ready to deal with this application this evening, I will ask our CAO to please read the resolution. Council is ready to deal with it? Okay.
Whereas applicant owner of tax roll number 632200 legally described as 36 Michelle Street has an application variation order number 33 of 2021 from front yard for a single family dwelling 30 feet to front yard for a single family dwelling 20.8 feet with an overhang projecting to 2.2 feet further into the proposed setback. The purpose of this application is to reduce the minimum required front yard for an addition to the main structure on the subject property within the SR seasonal residential zone. The applicant's site plan and letter of intent are attached to council's package. Therefore, be it resolved, variation order number 33 of 2021 be approved with the following conditions. The conditions were read out by the planner, Madam Mayor. And it says this order shall expire if not acted on within 12 months to the date of making.
Thank you for that. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, second. Councillor Horvis. Any discussion? Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Just for clarification, the overhang is just two feet, just over 2 feet into the area that it's not supposed to be, right? Okay.
Yes. Okay, I have a move.
2.2, thank you.
I have a mover, I have a seconder. I will call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that one is carried. Thank you very much. We will move on. We still have a few more public hearings this evening. So the next one on our agenda is public hearing for variation order number 34 of 2021 at Donald Road in Rebec. Mr. Planner, if you could, please.
Oh, sorry, Madam Mayor, I have to open the public hearing.
Oh, sorry, just a moment, Pawan, I'm getting ahead of myself. We have to go back and open the public hearing, so I'll have Deepak read that resolution, please.
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order number 34 of 2021.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, Councillor Horvis seconds. Discussion, hearing and seeing none. Call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Now you can go ahead on that one, Pawan, on the Donald Road.
Thank you much, Madam Mayor. Yes, the next variance application is variation order 34/2021. This application is on 232 Donald Road as well as the adjacent property. Both of them are rule numbers 21600 and 21950. And the applicant is requesting council's approval for the variances for site area required 4 acres to the following. For proposed lot 1, as part of the initial use, officially approved application S20-2851 to be 2.045 acres for 1 and 2. For proposed lot 3, 2.007 acres. For proposed lot 4, 2.008 acres. For 5, 2.010 acres. For proposed lot 6, 2.012 acres. And 2.439 acres for proposed lot 7. The council did previously grant approval, and a conditional approval letter was sent by the Register Planning Board on December 17, 2020. Applicant's approval of this variance application would satisfy condition number 6, and should council approve it, we just have the following recommendation: the variance approval for site area that's proposed in this application. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much for that, Colin. Do members of council have questions for the planner on this one? Okay, I see one of the applicants is joining us via Zoom. So Andre, do you have anything that you would like to add at this point?
I don't, Madam Mayor. Everything was covered in the planner's presentation. I do have one prepared, but I think everything's been crossed off. So I'll hold off now unless there's some additional questions.
Okay, thank you for that. The people that just joined us in the council chamber, are you here on variation 34 of 2021 at 232 Donald?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, so if there are no questions to the planner on 34 of 2021 at 232 Donald Road, if council is ready to deal with it, we can come out of our public hearing and we can do the resolution. So go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Just asking, just looking at the mapping here, is there only one proposed lot? I'm sorry, road in the lots? Sorry.
I believe that's what I saw too, was there was one road going to the south, I believe. I'm just waiting for mine to come up here so I can see.
I don't know why I always thought there was two, but if there's only one, that's okay.
Andre, can you clarify that for us? Is there one road adjacent to the one that would be on the north side of Donald, or is there two?
I'm having a bit of a difficulty hearing your question. I do apologize.
So let me attempt this. Andre, the Councillor Strang is asking is that the road allowance that's been identified there, there's only one road that's there. And as you recall, that was a requirement as part of your approval?
Yes, that's correct. There is some room provided there for a future road allowance between proposed lot 2 and proposed lot 3.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Can you just clarify too, Deepak, if that is adjacent to the one on the north side of Donald? I don't believe that it is.
The one on the north side of Donald?
Yeah, there is a,
I don't see one on the north side.
well, there is a line there, and I don't know if that's for future road or if that's just a lot division.
Page for the future road.
Depends when it's done.
Andre, if you wouldn't mind just clarifying on this plan that the road allowance was requested of you, and that was from the RM, as I recall?
Yeah, that's right. So the proposed road allowance aligns with a conceptual road network that was put in a background study to a secondary plan for this St. Clements area. So near the road network where we go, and that's why that road allowance is put there. If it were to extend to the north on the other side of Donald Road, it would align with existing property lines that would allow for a mountain to continue on the neighborhood
For future subdivision.
Right, and that's basically what I
Yes.
was asking, so,
Yeah.
okay. Go ahead, Councillor Bazarowicz.
Does it line up with the road allowance that the RMRE owns on Dunning?
Did you hear that, Andre?
I did. I don't know which road allowance that would be.
That'd be something we'd have to check here, I think.
Madam Mayor,
Go ahead.
this is only for the variance application.
Right, right.
So just to remind council, this subdivision had already been approved.
Yes.
And as part of that subdivision approval, there was a process to review what was requested, and they designed that as per the request according to other secondary plans and possible road networks for the future.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so if there are no further questions for Andre or Colin, we can close the public hearing for variation order number 34 of 2021 at 232 Donald Road, and we will proceed with the resolution once the hearing is closed.
Resolved, the public hearing for variation order number 34 of 2021 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, Councillor Spicer seconds. Discussion. Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, so now we're going to go to the resolution for variation order number 34 of 2021.
Whereas the applicant order of tax roll number 21600 to 219150 legally described as roll number 253/254, Plan 3392, and located at 232 Donald, be made application for variation order number 34 of 2021 from site area 4 acres minimum to site area 2.05 acres minimum for proposed lots 1 and 2, 2.007 acres minimum for proposed lots for proposed lot 3, area variance for proposed lots 1 to 7 as part of the conditionally approved subdivision application S20 of 2861. Therefore, be it resolved, the variation order number 34 of 2021 be approved with the following conditions: that the variation approval for the site areas as proposed within this application, and this order shall expire if not acted upon within 12 months of the date of making.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Horgus, Councillor Spicer seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Just want to clarify for the 2.045 acres for 1 and 2, I just want to make sure that was.
Yes, 2.045 acres for lots, proposed lots 1 and 2.
Thank you.
Okay. I have a mover, I have a seconder. I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, so we are into public hearing for variation order number 35 of 2021. So we will have to move into the variation board again, or out of our regular meeting. So can I have the resolution for that one, please?
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order number 35 of 2021.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, Councillor Boulanger seconds. Discussion. Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, Colin, if you could take us through one more for variation order number 35 of 2021.
Yes, thank you much, Madam Mayor. So the last one slated for 6 p.m. is variation 35-2021. This is located at 72077 Pine Road. Oh. To increase the maximum permitted accessory building from 2 to 3 and increase the unit area to 1440 square feet for the required 1280 square feet in order to allow for construction of an accessory building on the subject property. The subject property on the east side of Pine Road currently developed with residents. It does have an 8x8 doghouse. There's an 8x14 shed and a 14 by 20 garage, which is being going to be removed by the applicant, and they're proposing a 36 by 40 garage at the rear of the property. All the proposed accessories in the application would meet the setback, as well as any building requirements. In order to allow the 1440 square feet accessory building on the property, which I understand for personal storage only. The applicant has stated that there is a slight increase in the zoning bylaw from the 1280 to 160 square feet. So we consider this a minimum modification in terms of the unit area. And it should note from the aerial information that the site is well treed and plenty of tree coverage to the neighboring property. Currently, there appears to be other large accessory buildings within the area in this agricultural restricted zone. Should council approve the requested variance, we recommend the following. The variance is limited to a maximum 3 accessory buildings on subject property with a maximum unit area of 40 square feet for a proposed accessory building garage at the application. Any changes, replacement, or additions may require new variance approval. Applicant number 2, applicant obtains all required permits for the fire district. And 3, the use of the accessory building presented in this application is for personal use only and should not be used for any business purposes. And that is all I have to say.
Thank you for that, Pawan. Any questions to the planner from members of council? Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
I gotta ask this question. So an 8x8 dog house is an accessory building?
Pawan, did you catch that one? Councillor Spicer is asking if an 8x8.
Unfortunately, we have nothing to address a dog house in particular in the zoning bylaw. So as for the definitions of the bylaw, it would be anything that would be classified as an accessory building. That's correct. It's not exempt from the bylaw. But it is under the 120 square feet and does not require a permit other than the number of buildings.
Okay, thank you for that, Pawan. Anything else? Okay, are you the applicants for this application?
Yes, we are.
Okay, do you have anything that you would like to add to your application at this point in time? And can you just identify yourselves for the record, please?
My name is Dan Miller.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
We're the owners of the property, and
Right.
there's nothing to add to the application.
Okay. Okay, any questions to the applicant on this application? Okay, if council is ready to deal with it, I guess the only query that I would have, I've got the wrong one up here. Okay, so you're increasing the size of the building from 1280 to 1440. I noticed in the resolution there was nothing about that it be for personal use only. Is that something that we should consider adding in?
The planner did mention that in his.
Oh, it is in here. I must have been
comments.
looking at the wrong resolution. So it is in the recommendations that all the required permits and the use of the accessory buildings presented in this application is for personal use only and should not be used for any business purposes. And I would like to add in there, and not be habitable. Okay, so we can go ahead and,
Public hearing?
yeah, close the public hearing. I think Heather has made that change or adjustment to the conditions.
Resolve the public hearing for variation order 35, 2021 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Horvis, second. Councillor Belanger, any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Can I have the resolution then for variation order number 35 of 20?
1 second, Madam Mayor,
Sure.
while I reload the screen to bring it up.
Okay.
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll number 244405, legally described as Lot 1, Plan 22247, Winnipeg Land Titles Office, and located at 72077 Pine Road South, has made an application for variation order number 35 of 2021 from main house attached garage 2845 square feet to main house attached garage remain as is. Garage 286.84 square feet to garage to be removed. From wood-sided doghouse 67.24 square feet to wood-sided doghouse remains as is. From wood-sided shed 116.44 square meters or feet to wood-sided shed remain as is. Purpose to increase the permitted number of accessory buildings from 2 to 3 and to increase the unit area to 1,440 square feet from the required 1,280 square feet in order to allow construction of an accessory building on the subject property. A letter of intent and site plan information has been submitted for council's attention. And then there's the resolution as the planner identified it with the addition of item number 3, which says to the accessory building presented as the application is for personal use only and should not be used for any business purposes or as habitable space.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Spicer, Councillor Strang, seconds. Discussion. Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. So it's been approved, so you're good to go ahead and start working with planning.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're
Council.
very welcome. Okay,
We
so,
have a few minutes to go, Madam Mayor. The next one was scheduled for 7:15 p.m.
works for me. So do you want to stop the recording while we're paused?
We should definitely start that one at 7:15 just in case. So
Yeah.
Give me 1 minute.
Hmm?
What do you want to vote?
Then subdivisions. I think one with the hearing and one without.
So,
Just a
sorry,
minute.
should we be considering